What is real? How do you define real?
Like everyone else, you were born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
The Fashion Matrix Podcast with Pablo Mentor.
Wake up and be free.
All right, welcome back everyone to another episode here for the Fashion Matrix Podcast. Pablo Mentor over here. As we are approaching the holidays, Christmas Eve and all that bullshit. And I call it bullshit not because, I don't like it or anything like that, but just because, most people do it without even really knowing what's about. They just do it as a tradition. And traditions, I have nothing against traditions. I'm against mindlessly doing things over and over and over again without questioning them, without understanding them with a profound understanding, right? With a level of deep consciousness on why do we fucking celebrate allegedly the birthday of someone or something. And once you understand the deeper aspect of it, I think you grow, you evolve, and you become more mature, more wiser. But that's not today's episode. A little bit, in a way. I saw a post the other day and I shared it. It was in Spanish. And it said something that resonates with me, something that I've been talking about for a long time, something that me and very few of my friends share as a core value. This idea of pleasure seeking. The society that we live in only and always searches for pleasure. Things to be distracted. I remember when I was growing up and when I was on this path of becoming a better version of myself, investing on myself, reading, self-help books, learning about coaching, learning from mentors, going to seminars. I remember I could never understand the idea of vacations. Maybe when I was younger, when I was a child, I would love them, right? Because I got to spend some time with my mother. She would work all the time. But as I grew older, I never understood this idea of going to football games or vacations and all that. And it was not until later on that I got around a certain group of people that resonated with what I said, and they spoke about it, and then I realized, yes, people are always trying to distract themselves from their own lives. Mostly, and I hope this is not the case for everyone, I really do hope so, but mostly it's because their lives are so miserable, and they're unaware of it. They don't even know that their lives are miserable, which is even worse, that they are looking for a way out. Which is why they go to substances such as alcohol, drugs, even relationships. They get addicted to destinations. They believe that if they go this place, they'll find whatever it is that they're looking for that they don't even know that they're looking for. If they get another relationship, then they'll get what they're looking for. If they drink, if they go out and party, if they do ayahuasca, if they do all this, they'll find the answers. And let me tell you, if you have not heard this before, then let me tell you. Let me be the first one to tell you this. And if you've heard it before, then let me repeat that. The answers lie within you. No one and nothing will give you the answers that you're looking for. I guarantee you that 100%. I don't care if you talk to the demiurge. I don't care if you talk to angels, to demons, to spirits, to the Anunnakis, to ancient cosmic beings. I don't care. The answers lie within you. It takes a long time to understand that. So if you do not have a profound approach over your purpose of life, this sense of life, of meaning in life, then you will be easily distracted. Very easily distracted by pleasure. Pleasure comes in many forms. Again, like I mentioned, it could be a football game. It could be food. That's a big one. Relationships, sex. That's another one. Now, I think that the vast majority of people have no meaning. Even though they do, if they search within themselves, if they search their souls, they would find a purpose. Because we all came here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. We have a purpose. But not all people look for it. Because it's not easy, man. It's not fucking easy. Sometimes you believe you find it, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's not what you thought it was. Or sometimes you actually do find it, and then you can see clearly, and guess what? You get tested. By God, the universe, Buddha, whoever you believe in. You get tested. It's almost like the universe is testing if you're really up to the task. Okay, you found your purpose now. Are you up for it? Because even though you find it, does not mean that you're prepared for it, right? You must evolve. You must transform yourself. Be ready for it. Earn it. Everything needs to be earned. So because it is a hard path, because it's not rewarding in the sense of what society thinks should be rewarded, again, with pleasure. You want to be rewarded with pleasurable things, with just comfort and pleasure. And even though we understand that comfort and pleasure kills dreams and numbs senses, numbs the purpose of a man or a woman, you think that when you want to be rewarded, what do you want to do? You want to party, you want to celebrate. What the celebration means. If you go to celebrate Christmas, what are you going to do? You're going to stuff yourself up. You're going to fucking get drunk. You're probably going to be fake as a motherfucker with people that you never see, but only on fucking Christmas Eve. And then you'll talk about bullshit, or you'll complain, right? You'll complain about, the situation. Oh, the pandemic, it's so bad. And oh my God, this and that. And that's life for most people, isn't it? Now, don't get me wrong. I see a lot of people living life. Even though they might think they have a purpose. Again, they just mindlessly going through the motions, but not being fully present. Now, we've heard about mindfulness. We've heard about being in the moment, being present in the moment. But what does that mean? What are you doing right now? Maybe you are driving. Maybe you are eating, cooking, or maybe you're just hearing to this podcast. Can you honestly say that you are fully present in this moment? Or are you like most people, which they are doing something, they are going through the motions, but in their minds, they're elsewhere. Thinking and feeling and this, that, never fully losing themselves in the present. And what I mean by losing themselves is, what's the word? Submerging yourself into the present moment. Being fully merged into it. So immersed into that moment or into that action that you're doing that no outside noise, no outside distraction would be able to set you off course, to again distract you. That there's no way. You have such an amazing amount of focus, sharp, that no one can throw you off course. Now imagine that with your life. Imagine having that course with your life. Imagine having a purpose so clear and then understanding it and walking it with all its ups and downs, with all the tests, with all the good, bad, whatever, struggles. That's life. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be just about pleasure. I do not know where or why and how society started to think and believe that all we do is because we want to have a good time. Oh, live a good life. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Good for you is so different from me, isn't it? Good for you might be, celebrating, getting drunk with your friends. I do not think that's good for me. Poisoning my fucking body. So you see, that's why most people get off course, because it's not easy being on the, I don't want to sound fucking religious, like most people say the righteous path or this, but being the best version of yourself takes commitment, an amazing amount of commitment and dedication and strength and willpower. And you get tested like a motherfucker. It's a lonely path. That's why you don't see most people at the top of whatever goals they have, right? So you grow up, you go to school, you get drunk on college, then you get around with another person, you get married, you get a job, then you get a kid, and then you go through all these stages of your life, all these chapters. And when you look back at your life right now, what have you truly done? When was the last time you had such a profoundness over your life, a purpose, a sense of meaning that what you're doing matters? Your life matters. You're not just another sheep. You're not just a robot going through the motions like a machine. Waking up, cooking up breakfast, eating, kissing your partner or taking the kids to school or something like that, I see that day by day with people. They're not questioning their own existence. They're just there. Mindlessly doing shit. Living life. In quotes, living life. I have to do this. And they're busy. Don't get me wrong. They're busy. They're doing their things. And maybe they have a lot of money too. You see, money has nothing to do with the purpose of your life. It's different for each and every one of us. But I've seen people so busy doing nothing. Busy doing what? They're like, just like a fucking machine. Like a headless chicken, basically. With a lack of meaning, a lack of understanding. And that is so sad, because then what happens is that, okay, if that's the case, if you want to be like that, if you want to live your life like that, and it wouldn't hurt anybody, then I would be totally fine. I wouldn't make a podcast such as this. I wouldn't make this episode. I'd be like, okay, cool. To each his own. Perfect. Go with that. But the problem is that people that are more conscious, more aware of the situation, they know that they can easily manipulate people like that. The herd, like a herd, literally, that have no understanding. It's very easy to manipulate them with circus, with bread, bread and circus. Give to the people bread and entertainment, and they'll never complain. Give them just the scraps. People are conforming, people are settling with just the scraps. That's what happens when you don't have a purpose. You settle down. You don't longer question, like when you were a kid. When we were kids, you just look at a fucking kid. They have an inner curiosity over everything. They want to explore. They want to live life. They want to experience it. And they're fully immersed into that present moment. If they think that they are kings, and if they think that they are astronauts, if they think that they are lions, if they think that they are fairies, they truly believe that. And when you just look at them, when they play a game, talk to them and see how many creativity they have. Now that's inside each and every one of us still, and even better, because as we evolve, as we grow up, we get more wise, we get wiser, we mature, or at least that should be the case. And what happens is the opposite. We get numbed down by these pleasure things, because again, certain people, not all of them, not all people that are aware, not all people that in quotes are successful, if we make it into an example that people are woke, for lack of a better word, are awakened within themselves, they see the opportunities, and some people take advantage of these opportunities. They take advantage of you and me. They take advantage of the condition of society. And some people look at this condition and they want to wake them up. Like me and my brothers, me and my friends, we want to wake people up. Like, hey, how the fuck could you live like that? Right? Doesn't make any sense. So, when you have people with no purpose, when you have people that settle down, they just settle for whatever the fuck they're experiencing, not searching for anything more. They become like, I don't know if you watched the movie The Matrix with Agent Smith, the one that it's agent for the Matrix, and his purpose, or the purpose of these agents, is to keep the status quo, is to avoid the awakening of people, to be unplugged of this program virtual reality of the Matrix. Well, people become that. The Karens, the Agent Smiths, they become like that. And then they actually fight for the system that is keeping them trapped. They fight for these drugs, these pleasure things like, oh, well, Pablo, alcohol is not such a bad thing. Well, Pablo, bacon is not such a bad thing. Well, Pablo, pleasure is what we should be searching for instead of freedom, instead of understanding, instead of a higher consciousness. All you want is fucking pleasure. So you're trying to tell me, and you're trying to, the thing is that you spread this mediocre mentality to those around you. And when someone that has a different narrative shows up, you look down upon them because they're not pleasure seekers, they're truth seekers, right? The problem is that you spread this bullshit that systematically was laid down to you by people that are awakened, that are taking advantage of you to keep the status quo. So let me put it simple like this. Maybe you are fed up with the fucking job that you have right now. Maybe you're like, yeah, you know what? This is not my purpose. I don't want to do that. I want to open up my own business, whatever it is. I want to become an entrepreneur. But I have bills, I have kids, I have the whatever, right? Pay the rent, pay the mortgage, blah, 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 pay for the car, blah, 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 blah. All this and that. So what happens? You want to live your dreams. And the people, let's say that the system here should be or could be your boss, the company that you work for, or that this person works for, right? Let's call him Bob. Bob works in a fucking company that he hates. He hates his job. He hates his fucking boss. And actually, the money that he earns, it's not even that good. So he's like, man, I wish I could escape this shit. So to avoid the pain of confronting himself and his situation, he numbs himself out with pleasure things like, cheating, lying, searching for sex, searching for, going out drinking and getting all fucked up with his friends, maybe doing even some drugs or something like that, or, going on vacations or buying bullshit, that he doesn't even really need, or, just whatever works that numbs him out. It could be a football game, it just takes him out of his condition, out of his reality, out of the reality. One day, he's like, you know what, fuck this, I don't want to do it anymore. Do you think that his boss is gonna, in this situation, would you think, he's always on time, he works, he's a perfect worker, he's a perfect employee. His boss wouldn't want him to go out. He wouldn't want him to quit his job because he needs the machine to be all greased in and to keep working. So let's say that the boss sees a little discomfort on his employee. So depending on the job, he could be like, yeah, there's a billion Bob, so fuck you and let's get another one. Or the other thing that happens always is, I'll give you a promotion. I'll just give you a little bit more of bread. I'll give you just a tiny raise. Which in the mind of Bob, of course, would be like, damn, I just got a fantastic raise. Now I can pay my debts and oh my God, I'm so blessed. This is a miracle. I have earned it because of my hard work, blah, 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 blah. But all they're doing with his little mindset is that he's just being numbed out again, right? He's like, oh yeah, just take this and don't complain. Just shut the fuck up. Keep doing your job. Don't speak up. Don't complain. Don't bring me attitude. Do as you're told and shut the fuck up. You see, that's the society that we live in. Not enough dreamers, not enough entrepreneurs. Damn. The world was built by dreamers, man. By people that question their own fucking existence, that question the status quo, that question everything that was happening, that wanted to experience life to the fullest. With body, mind, spirit, heart. So the Sioux, a tribe from the Lakota people, the Native Americans, they have a saying that depression is not because you're sad. Depression is because you've lost heart in the things that you're doing. So they have a saying that everything that they do, you must ask yourself this question. Am I putting heart onto this? Does it have heart? So when you are in a relationship, maybe you're just there because you get used to it, because you are accustomed to that person. Maybe you don't even love each other anymore, but you're just there. Which is what happens with most people that are married, isn't it? Am I putting any heart into this relationship? Maybe your job, maybe you fucking hate your job. Do I have any heart on it? Which could be understood as passion, but passion is, comes and goes. Heart is deeper than that. What you're doing right now in the present moment, are you putting heart onto it? Or are you just, again, going through the motions? Not fully present, not fully enjoying this moment, which is all you have, my friends. That's why also I always remind myself of my mortality. Even though I know my purpose in life, I know it very, very well. I know exactly why I'm here and exactly what I need to do, and I know it's fucking hard. But that is what makes me wake up every day in the morning and live life to the fullest. So even though I have purpose, even though I'm not seeking pleasure like most people, like, oh yeah, I just want to have a good time. No, there are certain things that are not supposed to be just good, like the purpose that I have, or shedding the old skin to improve yourself, to become a better version of yourself. It's not easy. Awakening yourself, hey, guess what? It's not fucking pleasant. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. It's actually very uncomfortable. Growing up is not comfortable, isn't it? So even though I know that, I remind myself of my mortality, and I remind myself of the big picture, of the entire cosmos. And this tiny blue dot, I cannot think that I'm the only person that is doing this. I cannot think of myself bigger than the entire cosmos. Even though I know I'm connected to it, I'm not bigger than it. I'm just a part of it, like everything else throughout this space-time consciousness, right? And I remind myself that if I die today, what have I done? Have I put heart to it? And is it aligned with my purpose? Am I being congruent? Right? These questions should give you a better sense of your life. And also, this is another question, 3 questions that the Native Americans used to put in their people's minds, which is, why am I? Who am I? And what am I going to do? Right? Why am I here? Why am I? Why do I exist? Who am I? Who am I in this? Or why do I exist? Who am I? And then why or how am I? Right? How, which invites you to do action. How am I gonna? If I know why, if I know how, or no, if I know why, if I know who, then how? These are the questions, man. So again, don't be a pleasure seeker, because that will just numb you out. That'll just keep you away from your truth, from truth itself, from expansion, from evolution, from higher consciousness. Because you're just numbing yourself out. Avoid that. And anything that you do, just ask yourself these questions. Are you fully aware of what you're doing? Are you conscious about the decisions that you're taking and making? Are you present in the moment? Are you fully aware? Right? That's the meaning of this podcast, of this episode. That's what I want to give you in today's podcast, all right? So remember, if a person lacks a profound sense of purpose in his life, he'll get distracted by pleasure very easily. And then look at those around you. Once you wake up, look around. Who are the ones that are giving pleasure and benefit from it? There are people that are benefiting a lot from your distractions, from your lack of awareness, from your pains and your doubts and your fears. We can take the example of this fucking pandemic. That's right, pandemic. We can take this as an example. There's people that are profiting out of this fucking fear of all the people. Just follow the money. You'll understand. People are getting richer and richer and richer. And if this is the real pandemic like they claim to be, it should be a time for us to stick together and grow as a species, to be more humane, not to profit out of the pain of others, isn't it? So, again, that's why I want you to wake up. That's why I want you to wake up, so that you can live life under your own terms, so that you can shine brighter, because we need that. We need to lay the foundations for what could be, not what it is. I look at the conditions of the world today. I look at the conditions of the society today, and I do not like it. And I'm doing my part, and I invite you to do your part as well. Whatever that may be, do your part, because it matters, all right? Thank you for listening. Be the best version of yourself. Remember, you can follow me at Pablo Mentor on all social media. And if you want to work with me, or if you want to, go to one of my seminars, see what I'm doing, see what I'm offering, the books, this, that, just go to pablomentor.com and you'll see everything that I'm doing, all right? Thank you for listening, and until the next one.